apparently Michael Jackson died in 1979. From what I'm being told and what I'm seeing. Can somebody explain this to me?
A&D believes your baby's happiest days.
And it's the problem with being at home, not having nothing to do. Because I'm going down a rabbit hole I never expected to go down.
They tell you what it is, and you see it in plain sight, and you think it's something else. Well, everybody was mad at me until a white woman confirmed it.
Coroners have officially pronounced Michael Jackson unalived between 18 and 20 years ago. Okay, now that's the timeline between 1978 and 1979.
So,
Coroners have officially
apparently, and y'all know how the internet is, man. Y'all know how the internet is. Y'all know how the internet go. You know how it go down. It's 2024. You can't believe nothing unless you physically see it with your own eyes. But Michael Jackson, apparently there is reason to believe that he overdosed, which he later actually overdosed, I guess. I'm going to say actually, later in the 2000s, right? That we're aware of. Apparently they saying that this man, a coroner, officially pronounced Michael Jackson dead. From what he could tell, he died between 18 and 20 years ago. Forensic investigator. Alright? They said they're not certain at this time who or what has been standing trial in the courthouse. What? This reads, Tim Holbrook said, we are not certain at this time who or what has been standing trial in a Santa Maria courthouse. Who or what? So, listen, I need somebody to debunk this, dog. Tell me what's going on, bro. And can somebody find this article? I'm going to have to do some more research. Day 6 of not working. I'm already fell down a rabbit hole. I'm in here trying to get my health together, man. Got my bottles of water. Done already had my coffee. Look, beautiful cup, man. Pitt State graduate, man. 4-year degree, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Man, let's see if we can make this math a little bit better. I put the first cover up. You can go back and you can Google this for yourself. Make sure you Google Neverland Ranch investigators discover corpse of real Michael Jackson. This article was written in 2005 or published in 2005, as you can see. I'm going to read what the coroner says from my other phone. Coroners have officially pronounced Michael Jackson dead. From that we can tell, we is the coroners. He, Michael Jackson, died between 18 and 20 years ago. Forensic investigator Tim Holbrook said, we are not certain at this time who or what has been standing trial in that Santa Maria courthouse. It goes on to say, according to Holbrook, Jackson's corpse was buried just inches below a stretch of the miniature train tracks that ran throughout Neverland. The largely desiccated corpse wore the remains of a red, zipper-covered leather jacket and a single glove. Now they says that we positively identified the body as Jackson by his dental records and DNA, Holbrook said. But even before we conducted a single forensic test, we began to suspect that we uncovered the real Michael, and that the disturbing figure claiming to be Jackson was a fake. I'm saying this to say, to clarify once again, that just because they aired something in one year does not mean that it took place in that year. So check it. Holbrook said that although the corpse was in an advanced stage of decomposition, the investigators compared the body to earlier career publicity photos of Jackson. They saw a striking resemblance in bone structure and facial features. But when they compared the body to the photos taken after 1987, the resemblance was negligible. So basically here, what you may be finding out now is that from 1979 to 1987, they was using reels that had already been pre-recorded of Michael Jackson. Not only that, a little sidebar here. There's a letter said that Michael Jackson had written back in 1979 saying that he no longer wanted to be known as Michael Jackson. Go Google that. He no longer wants to be known as Michael Jackson, but that he wants to be known as MJ. He wanted to kill off the character, saying that he no longer wanted to be known as Michael Jackson. Go Google that. He no longer wants to be known as Michael Jackson, but that he wants to be known as MJ. He wanted to kill off the character, Michael Jackson, the one that they had built from his childhood, that he was no longer happy with. Yeah, so when he decided that he no longer wanted to be their money machine, what do you think they did to him? Yeah, it tells you 18 to 20 years prior to before 2005 that they found the remains of Michael Jackson buried on his motherfucking property, and that there was an imposter, a fake Michael Jackson standing in his place now. So who's the Michael Jackson with the Jerry curl? So mind you, 18 to 20 years back from 2005 when they published this article would have been the late 70s, like 79 to 1980, somewhere from that early stage frame, way before the posting of the Pepsi commercial 83, 84. That does not mean that the Pepsi commercial was not recorded before 83, 84. It just means that they aired that commercial in 83, 84. They go on to say, this discovery raises a lot of questions, but it also sheds light on a number of disturbing incidents. Holbrook said, frankly, Jackson had been acting pretty strange all of a sudden. Now get this here. Forensic experts and music critics are postulating that Jackson was dead before the release of the multi-platinum album Bad. Detectives are currently analyzing the lyrics to Man in the Mirror for any clues relating to a look-alike entity that many suspect murdered the youngest member of the Jackson 5 and assumed his identity. This would have been back up in 1979 to 1980 or 1978, but we are sure that it was at least 20 years prior to 2005 when this article was written. So the forensic teams and investigators also goes on to say that we believe that Neverland served as a sort of a freakish, whimsical tomb constructed by Jackson's killer, Holbrook said. We also suspect that all of the iniquities that occurred on the ranch were the work of the imposter. Okay, so now you might say iniquities. What iniquities are they talking about? These are the same iniquities probably about God was talking about Lucifer, Satan, the devil. So these iniquities, maybe they're referring to the child molestation things that said the real Michael Jackson poster had been committed. But now we know that there was a fake Michael Jackson that was around that may have been the one who committed all these monstrosities under the name of Michael Jackson, the real Michael Jackson. So yeah. Holbrook said, we also suspect that all of the iniquities that occurred on the ranch were the work of the imposter. I wouldn't have ever thought it possible, but we are looking at a situation where the sexual abuse of a 13-year-old cancer patient is the tip of the iceberg. Holbrook said that while the living Jackson is the leading suspect in the murder investigation, he could be another victim of some sort. Holbrook said basically, we have no idea what type of creature. What type of what, Holbrook? Holbrook said they don't know what type of creature they're dealing with in place of the real Michael Jackson that was killed 20 years ago, before 2005, when this article right here, Never Never Land Ranch, was published. So yeah, Holbrook said he don't know what type of creature he dealing with. However, a member of the investigative team that discovered Jackson's body describes the experience as otherworldly. Look that word up. Otherworldly. One word. I'm just going to read a little bit more, but I'm going to leave the rest of it for y'all to go read and Google yourself. So investigators said, as we neared the perimeters of Neverland, the dog started whining and howling like crazy. We had to pull them into the house. When we got to Jackson's bedroom, one of them almost choked himself to death on his leash trying to get out through the window. The smell. You know, they cadaver dogs. I guess that's the type of dogs they go and find dead folks. The cadaver dog. Yeah, minutes later, they said the same dog led them to Michael's corpse. So peep this, Michael was already claiming his own rulership over his own self, so somebody would have had him killed. Watch this right here. So a representative from Jackson's self-created label, MJJ Productions, I had never heard of it, but MJJ Productions said he was not surprised to find out that the current Jackson is an imposter. Y'all peep out there, see. Y'all ain't understanding the games and the buffoonery and the tricks that they play on your mind. Yeah, so go Google this research, the piece of information from the Santa Barbara, California, when they posted this back in 2005. And y'all read up on this information and see what you can get for your own understanding. Maybe some new findings will be opened up to you, and maybe your mind also will be open for growth in this situation.
Now, that makes me think about, if he died in 79, let me get my tablet out because I'm not good at this stuff. I'm a little slow. I still got a 4-year degree. All right. So, ain't my trusty tablet right here. If he died in 79, then that means some of our favorite moments. I'm 36 years old. So that means some of our favorite moments may have been a lie. Let's see. First time Michael Jackson did the moonwalk was in 1983. So if he was already dead 18 to 20 years ago, then what was that on the stage doing the moonwalk? Let's look at his Thriller album. Is what, the most selling album in history? Thriller, most sold album ever. See, what was the release date on Thriller? 1982. Pretty interesting title too. Thriller. You seen the video. Maybe he was trying to tell us something after all, bro. All right, man. Look, I'm now in the vehicle. I'm in the whip. Going to see about this rental car that I want to get. Do some traveling over the weekend. But man, what y'all think about this, dog? What y'all think about this, bro? Day 6 of me not working, and I'm already in the rabbit hole, dog. Like, imagine if this is true. Imagine if this is true. You're telling me that Michael Jackson was dead in late 1970s, early 1980s. The greatness that we seen going forward from Michael Jackson could have been pre-recorded and released to the public. The moonwalk that we saw could have been performed by an imposter. You got investigators saying things like they don't know what otherworldly entity they're dealing with. They don't know who in the courthouse, what's in the courthouse. This is scary stuff, man. I'm really interested to know what y'all think about this. Like, what? You mean to tell me they found Michael Jackson dead and buried on his own property that may have been constructed by this entity, by this imposter pretending to be Michael Jackson? But y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Day 6, not working, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this one, bro.